All right, episode 3, Jayhawks on the move. 1, 2, 3. Look who's in the back seat. Put the big man in the back seat. Volleyball coach Gina Feldt. We got the cross-country coach. You guys might have to lean in here.
All right.
Nick Green is in.
Yep.
Got Tim Sauer in the back. And all Coach told him was, come out to the parking lot, get in a red truck, and we're going to go as we go through there. We're going to go through all the fall sports, and maybe we'll try and do this more than just this time as we try and match up all your schedules. You guys getting through professional development day, as that's school day starting tomorrow. And I try not to run into mopeds or anything like that, which is hard around here. He looks like he's 12.
He's going to crash.
So they give anybody a moped license, I guess. So, but anyway, Coach Tim Sauer, first-year head football coach, got through scrimmage Friday night. I would have to say I wasn't impressed with the trick of changing the jersey numbers. That makes the broadcast a little hard.
Yeah, you know, Nate, I want to keep you on your feet. That's really the only reason why we did that, to make your job as interesting as possible.
Yeah, I know you like to think at top of mind to me, but I know that wasn't exactly the case.
You know, it's just an opportunity to give kids, hey, let's switch up some jerseys and just be like, hey, it's kind of cool. I mean, you get to own that jersey number for, the season, and let's just do something a little bit off the wall just to kind of to see how they react to a certain situation. We've talked about adversity and opportunity these last couple of weeks. So I say, hey, let's just do this quick switch. How are you going to handle it? And of course, our announcing staff did a great job handling the jersey change. So
yeah, I noticed you didn't have a PA announcer. That would have been a little more chaotic. But how do you think it all went Friday?
I think it went pretty good. We saw some things we liked, we saw some things we didn't like, and we definitely have a starting point for the season. And the same thing that we tell our kids is we just ask to get better and better every single week.
And you got Columbus coming up this week. You're through a couple of days of practice. We'll talk more about this on our Heartland Technology pregame show when kickoff is at 7 o'clock on Friday against Hudson. But talk about this week's of practice and adjustments and maybe some things that you're going to modify after what you saw on the field.
There's the highs and lows of what we've talked about as a staff is what we can do to make our kids more successful on the field. And I know this week especially will be difficult with school starting. These Gina and Nick over here can tell us about how hard the transition is for some of our kids once school starts, once we can only practice so many hours per week. So just trying to fit in what is going to be most important for the week.
So I'm going to go to Gina Feldt, our volleyball coach. Year 2 or 3? 2. Yep. And her husband now is an employee of the district.
Yes.
Technically took your job, right?
Basically, yes. He's teaching what I taught last year.
So as you move into your second year, and what are things looking like? You haven't hit the competition field just yet. I think tournament this weekend is where things start.
Yep, tournament this weekend. JV has a game starting tomorrow, but we've had a couple scrimmages already. We went to AP last week along with scrimmage at Cascade. At AP, we played a couple conference teams. It was good to see that, how we pulled out. Without keeping score, we came out on top to both conference teams, so that was a great first sighting just to kind of see how would we compete against them. Two teams who are looking pretty good. Not that it was an easy game for us, but we're in there. We've got lots of new blood on the team, which is good to see that we'll be able to pull up, and that just kind of means as the year progresses, I'm hoping that we'll become a better family with those girls on the team and be able to keep putting our pieces together.
So what's the difference between last year's team, this year's team? What do you feel like you're missing, but what do you feel like maybe you're gaining as well?
We're definitely gaining our culture. That's a big part of it. We're sticking together more as a team. We're playing together more as a team. Last year, we had a lot of individuals, and volleyball is far from an individual sport. You cannot touch the ball 3 times on your own to get it back over. So this year, they are really playing together. They're talking to each other better, communicating not just person to person, but even in volleyball terms as to help each other out while on the court. And as soon as we keep that camaraderie up, it makes a big difference in their attitudes and their willingness to put it all out on the floor.
So when you talk about the culture, and Tim and I have talked a lot about that with what he's doing in his squad, is that something that where's your interest in evolving that, or have you seen more of that maybe even coming from your players, or is it just a combination?
It's just so important for us, I think, at this point, and with the culture club, and several of my girls were in the culture club last year, and kind of bringing those pieces into the puzzle. And just yesterday I was meeting with the seniors, and they're bringing out terms as an energy vampire, and they get it. They know what it's going to take, and they know
energy vampire.
Energy vampire.
Okay, explain energy vampire.
I think that's your explanation.
Well, all three of us coaches are part of something called the Culture Club, and it meets every Thursday morning.
So like Boy George Culture Club? Have we got into that?
I don't know what that is.
So you guys are too young. Here, let me find my handicap spot, and I'll pull into that.
But it's an opportunity, as it started as a small group of teachers discussing books, ideas, podcasts, and expand to about a group of probably about 10 to 12 teachers. And now we finally have students with us ranging from, sixth grades, the youngest, all the way up to juniors and seniors, and just talking about what can we do to improve our climate and culture around school. And the term that Gina's talking about is an energy vampire, coined by John Gordon. He has the Energy Bus, The Positive Dog, The Carpenter. These are all phenomenal books. They're great reads. And what an energy vampire does is, what's a vampire do? Sucks blood, right? Energy vampire sucks the energy out of people. So we all know those people at work or within a team setting that they always say, maybe they constantly say something that tries to steal the energy out of the room. And when you see that happen, you want to call that person out on it and say, hey, you're being an energy vampire. That's a behavior that we don't want to see. And I've heard people on the cross-country team say it. I've heard people on the football team say it. And we have people on the volleyball team saying it. So that's just a proof that what we're, as coaches, not just us, but other teachers as well, are trying to incorporate some of these culture-changing aspects into our school climate.
Okay, awesome. Anything else, Gina? Did I miss? I interrupted you there with the energy vampire. I was your energy vampire.
It's just neat to see the girls kind of take ownership of this and ownership of the team and want it to be successful. I feel like that was something we didn't necessarily have last year, that they're there just kind of because that's what they felt like they were supposed to do, but just kind of a different atmosphere out there. We're having a lot more fun, which brings actually more focus to practice, which gives us better results in the end. So just keeping that, I just love the accountability that the girls have on themselves and holding each other to things, all in order to have fun while winning in the end.
Good. I got to bring you into picture. This is more complicated than it really probably should be, and I still do not know the legality of doing this. Somebody questioned that as well, but I got to pivot over here. Any messages on my phone? Coach Green, you're the only one with real competition under your belt so far this year.
That's right. Last night was our first competition. We've had a couple time trials this year. We did a mile time trial. We did a 5K time trial. But last night was the first competition against other schools. So traveled to Edgewood for that one.
But the big thing this year, you talk about the numbers you have, and I got to think back when Rachel Dahl took over the program 5 years ago, maybe. Mm-hmm. It was really starting to build some interest in cross country, and it's really catapulted since then. Yeah. But what did I see? If you were to count 7 through 12 cross country last year, your high school team has that number plus 4. Is that right?
Yes. So over the last, if we go all the way back to when Coach Dahl took over, I believe the year before she took over was Coach Smine's first year here, and he said they had about 8 kids in the high school program. And then Coach Dahl was able to build it up quite a bit. Had a great run out to state meet. And then when I jumped in 2 years ago, we had 36 kids, grades 7 through 12. Last year, grades 7 through 12, we had about 46, 48. This year, grades 7 through 12, we're projecting 60. So it's steadily growing over the last few years. We've been able to retain, we've been able to bring kids in, and it's been fun watching the roster size grow.
So your roster grew, and as a result, There's maybe some people that aren't playing football or volleyball anymore. Notice they're in the back seat.
There's no. There's we did gain maybe 1 or 2 football kids.
Okay.
But really, I think what we're tapping into is the kids who before didn't have a sport in some senses, that they maybe didn't go out for football or they didn't go out for volleyball, and I think we're reaching another maybe a demographic that maybe didn't feel like they wanted to go out before. For whatever reason. Overall, at the school, our participation in all activities has been through the roof. Whether you look at athletics, the fine arts are improving. With speech, they had huge numbers this last year. So I think as a whole, we're kind of like hitting our stride with the school culture, participation, and cross country is benefiting from that as well.
So how is that happening? What are each of you doing, and what are you seeing that you're seeing that drive? I know it's a school board goal to improve extracurricular activities. If you're involved in activities, you're probably more engaged in school and want to show up, that type of thing. One of you want to speak on that?
For cross country, I know for us, one thing that Coach O'Connell and I talk a lot about are our main theme of what we want the kids to feel. We want them to be happy and we want them to be healthy. For cross country, that's huge because every day they're showing up and they're working out. So we try to add some humor to things. We try to add some games to things. One of my goals personally, as the head coach, is each day when I see the kids, I want to hopefully get to be able to say each kid's name at least once personally towards them. Maybe have at least 5 conversations, one-on-one, 5 to 8 conversations throughout the entire practice, and really make the kids feel like this is a place where they can feel comfortable. This is a place where they can achieve some goals, and we've been lucky enough to hit those marks the last couple of years.
Gina, what do you think?
I would say they're just recognizing the kind of the importance or the drive to go out, just not even if they're big athletes, because I have several girls that they keep saying they're not huge athletes, but they just like being a part of something. And when you give them something solid to be a part of, they come out and enjoy it no matter if it's something they're excellent at or not. They just want that team aspect. And as I kind of mentioned before, when we make it fun, they tend to even do better than when you're there with a different focus. So our focus not only is winning, but it's growing that community. And when you grow that community, you're going to grow more people there, whether that's their favorite sport or not.
Yeah, because of the 3 of you, volleyball has become almost a year-round deal.
Yeah.
When you look at the club sports and everything that goes on into it, football hasn't quite hit that point yet. Whether it will or not, I don't know. Trying to fight back, but when you mentioned that there's some people that feel that they're not the athletes or they can't get involved, and then they feel like they just aren't going to, that they maybe won't even get a chance to even play or get competition. What do you say to that, Coach?
When they don't have.
Well, they're thinking, I haven't been doing this since I was in, 4th grade or 5th grade or 6th grade, and or it hasn't been out for football, and then you maybe can get them out their senior year.
We have some kids who are like that, and I think you talked about the numbers that each one of us had, and I don't look at it as that we're stealing each other's kids. I'm looking at it from the perspective that each one of us all of us are having impacts on these kids' lives. But what we're really trying to do is make the kids the most successful they can be in certain areas. Mm-hmm. And we're all, because I know we talk to our kids, hey, if you're not going out for football, you need to do something that's going to benefit this school. Because we're a small school, and it doesn't matter if it's the music department. It doesn't matter if you want to go for cross country. It doesn't matter if you go for volleyball. We want you involved, because kids who are involved are going to make the right decisions more times than not. Make them, and like Gina said before, making them feel like they're part of a team or a family or however you want to.
So really, it's bringing those kids back in, because a lot of them participated probably in rec sports when they were younger and drifted away to something else or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's getting them back involved. So that's huge. That's huge. I didn't let you give you credit for your success last night.
Oh,
did you go through that?
Okay.
You got to give some credit where it's due.
We had a good night last night. First competition, the JV boys got 3rd, varsity boys got 3rd, and our varsity girls won. We were able to take on some very tough competition on the girls' side. A couple of ranked teams, top-ranked teams in 1A. We are 2A this year, but we were able to come out with the victory. And I think if these performances can keep up and we can keep progressing like we want, it'll be a very fun season.
So how exciting is this right now? School doesn't start till tomorrow, but just the numbers of kids that are just rolling in here right now.
Yeah.
Coach Green's cross-country kids are already on the football field and waiting to get some things going.
As we're driving around, I think we saw about 10 of them on mopeds or bikes coming to practice.
And we didn't hit any of them.
We didn't.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. Here's a couple chances right now.
And they're still rolling in right here. So it's fun. It's fun. The competition before school starts is always a fun atmosphere. They roll in. School's not happening. It's a different feel to it. And then coming to practice right now, they get to ride their bikes to practice with their friends. They're not just walking out of school. It's kind of a fun feel, different feel than what they're used to. But we're excited. It's a lot of fun.
So middle school, is that going right now yet? Or not till school starts?
For us, we are not starting until tomorrow when school starts, just because middle schoolers oftentimes don't have a ride to practice or from practice if we want to go at 8 a.m.
Sure.
So we're going tomorrow after school.
And your programs?
I think it's very similar. We have a little camp going on right now, but I think most middle schools start tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, Jayhawks on the Move, episode 3 with the Fall 3. Thanks for riding along.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you. Go Jayhawks. And what is it you say?
It's a great day to be Jayhawk.
I didn't hear.
Jayhawk.
As Coach Sauer would say, I didn't hear you.
It's a great day to be a Jayhawk.
All right. We'll see you Friday night.